Picture this. Two friends graduate college in the same year. Same degree, same job, same starting salary. They both manage to save their first $50,000. Now, here's where their paths split. Friend number one decides to invest in the stock market. Simple, clean, no complications. Friend number two decides to buy a small rental property. Leverage, tenants, real estate. Fast forward 10 years. One of them has quietly built wealth in the background. The other feels like they've been working a second job just to keep up.
So here's the real question. Which one actually made more money? Real estate or stocks? And more importantly, which one should you choose? Because the answer is not what most people think.
My name is Eric, and I spend way too much time thinking about the hidden mechanics of wealth and the invisible equations that determine whether you stay stuck or actually get ahead. If you've ever wondered, should I buy property or invest in stocks? Why does real estate feel powerful but complicated? Why do some people get rich slowly while others struggle despite owning assets? Make sure you hit subscribe, because what I'm about to show you is not opinion. It's math.
Let's start with what most people believe. They think real estate is safer. Real estate is how the rich get rich. Stocks are risky. Stocks are like gambling. And honestly, I get it. Real estate feels real. You can see it, touch it, walk inside it. Stocks? They're just numbers on a screen. But here's the uncomfortable truth. What feels safer is not always what performs better. And what feels complicated sometimes just hides the real costs. Before we compare returns, you need to understand one thing. Real estate and stocks are fundamentally different games to play. Stocks, passive, liquid, no effort required, compounds automatically. Real estate, active, illiquid, requires management, uses leverage. So this isn't just which makes more money. It's how does the money grow, how much effort does it take, and what risks are hidden beneath the surface.
Let's start with stocks, because this is where the math is clean. Historically, the stock market returns about 7% to 10% per year on average. So let's say you invest $50,000 and you leave it alone for 10 years. At 8% annual return, that grows to roughly $108,000. You more than doubled your money. No tenants, no repairs, no stress. Now stretch that to 20 years. That same $50,000 becomes $233,000. That's the power of compounding. And here's the key. You didn't have to do anything. Now let's look at real estate. Same starting point, $50,000. But instead of investing it, you use it as a down payment. Let's say you buy a $250,000 property. Because real estate allows leverage. You don't need full cash. You control a much bigger asset.
If that property grows at just 3% per year, after 10 years, that $250,000 property becomes roughly $336,000. That's an increase of $86,000. But here's the key difference. You only put in $50,000, so your return looks much bigger. Now add rental income. Let's say you earn $1,500 per month. After expenses, you net $500 per month. That's $6,000 per year. Over 10 years, $60,000. So now, appreciation, $86,000. Cash flow, $60,000. Total, $146,000 gain on a $50,000 investment. Sounds insane, right? Way better than stocks. But we're not done yet.
Because here's where most people stop. They show you, look how powerful real estate is, but they ignore the costs, and this is where the math changes. Let's break it down. 1. Maintenance. Roof repairs, plumbing, appliances. Easily $2,000 to $5,000 per year average over time. 2. Property taxes. 1 to 2% of property value annually. 3. Insurance. 4. Vacancy. Months with no tenant. 5.
Property management, if you don't self-manage, 8 to 12% of rent. That $500 per month profit, it's not stable. Some years, you make money. Other years, you lose money. And suddenly, your passive income feels like a second job.
Here's something most people ignore. Real estate costs time. Finding tenants, handling issues, managing repairs, stress. Stocks? Zero time. So the real question becomes, are you okay trading time for potentially higher returns? Stocks sell anytime, access cash instantly. Real estate takes months to sell, high transaction costs. This matters more than people think, because wealth is not just what you own, it's what you can access when you need it. People say stocks are risky, but here's the truth. Stocks risk market volatility, emotional selling. Real estate risk, bad tenants, market crashes, interest rates, debt. And here's the big one. Leverage amplifies everything. If things go well, you win big. If things go wrong, you lose faster. Let's compare cleanly. Stocks, $50K to around $108,000. Passive, low stress. Real estate, $50K to potentially around $140,000 plus. Active, higher stress, variable results. So yes, real estate can outperform. But real estate doesn't win because it's better. It wins because of leverage. You're not comparing equal investments. You're comparing $50K in stocks versus $250K asset in real estate. That's the trick. So the real question is not which makes more money. It's which one can you actually stick with? Because stocks fail people because they panic sell, they chase trends, they quit early. Real estate fails people because they underestimate effort, they over-leverage, they burn out. Most people don't lose money because of bad investments. They lose because they choose something they can't handle long term. Let's go back to our two people. Same start, $50,000, same age, same discipline. But now we track them for 30 years, because this is where real wealth is decided. Stock market, 30-year scenario. Let's keep it simple. No fancy strategies, no trading, just consistency. Assumptions. $50,000 initial investment, 8% annual return, no additional contributions, just to keep it clean. After 30 years, $50,000 to about $503,000. Now pause for a second. No effort, no stress, no tenants. Just time. Because in real life, people don't invest once. They keep investing. Let's say $500 per month invested. At 8% for 30 years, roughly $745,000. Now combine both. Total roughly $1.2 million. Stocks reward consistency more than intelligence. You don't need to be smart. You need to not quit. Now let's do the same for real estate. Same $50,000. You buy $250,000 property. 20% down equals $50K. Now over time, property appreciates roughly 3% annually. Rent increases slowly. Mortgage gets paid down. After 30 years, that property becomes roughly $607,000. And your loan? Fully paid off. So you now own a $600,000+ asset. Let's say net $500 per month, average over time. Over 30 years, roughly $180,000 total cash flow. Property value, roughly $600K. Cash flow, roughly $180K. Total approximately $780,000. Right now, stocks, $1.2 million. Real estate, $780K. So stocks win? Not so fast, because we haven't included the real advantage of real estate yet. Here's where real estate players pull ahead. They don't stop at one property. They scale. Example, 3-property strategy. Instead of stopping at one, over 10-15 years, they refinance, reinvest, repeat. Now they own 3 properties, each worth roughly $600K after 30 years. Total, $1.8 million. Each property, Around $1,000 per month, inflation adjusted over time. 3 properties? $3,000 a month. $36,000 per year passive income. Assets? Around $1.8 million. Cash flow? Massive. Now, real estate is winning. Scaling real estate is not free. It requires risk, debt, stress, time. To get to 3 properties, you deal with multiple tenants, multiple repairs, market cycles, interest rate changes. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people never reach 3 properties. They quit after 1, or they burn out. Now, compare that to stocks. Scaling is simple. Just invest more money. No banks, no loans, no approvals. Stocks are boring. And that's exactly why they work. Now let's talk about something that can flip everything. Taxes. Stocks, capital gains tax, dividend tax. Real estate, depreciation, huge advantage. Mortgage interest deduction, 1031 exchange, tax deferral. Real estate is a tax-advantaged business disguised as an investment. This is critical. Real estate depends on borrowing money. So when rates rise, monthly payments increase, cash flow decreases, deals stop making sense. Stocks don't care about your loan rate.
So who wins? Here's the honest answer. Real estate wins if you use leverage correctly, you scale over time, you handle stress and management, you stay consistent. Stocks win if you stay invested long-term, you avoid emotional decisions, you keep contributing, you value simplicity. Now, here's what wealthy people actually do. They don't choose one. They combine both. Stocks equals foundation. Real estate equals acceleration. Example, invest monthly in stocks. Buy 1 to 2 properties over time. This gives you stability plus growth plus cash flow. Most people do one of these. Go all in on real estate, burn out. Avoid investing, stay stuck. Chase trends, lose consistency.
Here's the truth nobody tells you. The best investment is not the one with the highest return. It's the one you can stick with for 30 years. Because compounding only works if you don't quit. Real estate can make you rich. Stocks can make you rich. But neither will work if you keep starting over. So before you choose, ask yourself, do I want simplicity or control? Do I want passive or active? Do I want peace or pressure? Because that answer will determine your wealth more than the numbers ever will. If this changed how you think about investing, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.